Here's how to do your taxes in Canada. Please note that this information doesn't apply to anywhere outside of Canada. I also don't know how to do a business's taxes, but I can explain how to calculate your tax return. In order to do this, you will have to have access to your last pay stub of the year you're filing taxes for. So there's two different taxes that you have to calculate in order to get your tax return, provincial and federal tax, and these apply only to the sections of your pay stub labeled taxable income. Now only a portion of your taxable income is going to be taxed, because both your province and the federal government have a set basic personal amount. The basic personal amount is the amount of money you can make in a year that isn't taxed. Federally, for the year 2022, that minimum is $14,398, which means that if you made $30,000, only $15,602 of those dollars would be taxed by the federal government. The provincial amount works the same, but is a different number. Now, in order to calculate the tax taken from your income, you need to know what tax bracket you belong to. Tax brackets work incrementally, which means that just because your income surpasses a certain tax threshold doesn't mean that your entire income is going to be taxed by the percentage of the top tax bracket you occupy. The Canadian federal government has 5 tax brackets, ranging from 15% to 33%. But that doesn't mean that if you make enough money to fall into the 33% tax bracket, that all of your income is going to be taxed at 33%. Your income will be taxed as it falls into tax brackets. So in Canada, for your first $50,197 of taxable income, you would be taxed 15%. Then the money you make after that point would be taxed at the next bracket level, so on and so forth. Your province will also have its own tax brackets that apply independently of the federal brackets. So in order to find out what taxes you owe or what your tax return will be, you need to solve for 2 different taxes, provincial and federal. First, you would take your taxable income and deduct the federal basic amount from it. Then separate your remaining income into the tax brackets it falls into. Then you would calculate how much money is owed for each tax bracket by subtracting the owing percentage of each bracket. Add those totals up and you have your amount owing on federal taxes. Repeat the process with your provincial basic amount and brackets. Add that total together with your federal tax amount and you have your total amount owing. On your pay stub, you should have areas showing how much you have paid in taxes off your paychecks. Deduct this amount from your total amount owing, along with any union dues, RPP contributions, and TFSA contributions. You can also deduct any charitable donations you have made throughout the year as long as they don't account for over 50% of your gross income, and as long as they are itemized. What you have left after this deduction should be whatever you owe the government, or whatever the government owes you. I'll cap this off with an example. Let's say Bruce here made $48,712 in 2022. He is a resident of Ontario. Due to some pre-tax deductions, his taxable income comes out to $46,612. So to calculate his federal taxes, we subtract the federal basic amount. So that's $46,612 minus $14,398, leaving us with $32,214. That entire income falls within the first federal tax bracket of 15%. 15% of that comes out to $4,832.10. So that's his federal amount owing. Now, Bruce also resides in Ontario, so we have to calculate his provincial tax. So we will deduct the Ontario basic personal minimum of $11,141 from his taxable income, leaving us with $35,471. This amount falls within Ontario's first tax bracket of 5.05%. which means he owes $1,791.29 to provincial tax. We add his provincial and federal amounts owing together and get $6,623.39 for his total amount owing. Now, from Bruce's total amount owing, we will subtract his deductible contributions. Off his own paychecks, he paid $10,229.52 in taxes. He also paid $597 in union dues, as well as contributing $1,512 to an RPP. We add these numbers together and get $12,338.52. We subtract this from his total amount owing, and finally we have our answer. Bruce will receive a tax return of $5,715.13. Not bad. For a stinky, poopy, gross, barely sentient, swamp-dwelling Argonian, he's lucky to have been paid at all. What? No, I didn't mean that in a racist way. Stinky, poopy. It's a term of endearment. Have you not seen moist, critical? Well, they are barely sentient. They're controlled by the hist. And they do dwell in swamps. No, I'm not racist. That's just the way they are. Well, he was lucky to be paid. Until very recently, his kind weren't. I'm not defending it, it's just a fact. No, please don't call Trudeau. I'll lose my pension. I'll do anything.